Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura and I love applique quilts. You can get such detail in them, but I don't necessarily want to do it by hand. I do want to do it by machine. And when I do any type of applique, I like to find a pathway. So I start and finish in the same spot. Less threads that way and less work that way. Now I have found a lovely line of fabric that I'm going to turn into an applique quilt with some petaled flowers and just some simple chains running through the quilt. The fabric that I'm going to use today is from Bernina and it's called Veronica's Garden. This is beautiful, fresh look. I'm going to be pairing it up with one of my fabrics from Bernina from the Paisley Garden. I want that really nice white crisp to go with this fabric. Now you can get 2 free patterns to go with this fabric line, and they are lovely on their own. However, I want to make something a little bit more traditional. I would like to make a zinnia. For the background fabric, we're going to need about 3 yards of fabric. From there, we can use pre-cuts. We can use 10-inch squares, or we can use a strip set. For each of these flower blocks, we're going to need 8 petals. Those petals will fit along a 2.5-inch strip, or you can cut them all out of 10-inch squares. These smaller blocks are cut at 2 inches, so we could once again use a strip or cut them from the leftovers from when we make those flowers. Now I'll put a link in the description so that you can have this layout, and I'll also put a link in the description to this file from Electric Quilt where we have these petals. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a template out of one of these pieces. I'm going to put a fusible web along the back of my fabric, and then I'm going to get as many as I can on each 10-inch square. And then I'm going to be able to mix and match those colors until I have 104 of these little pieces. And that's where the fun's going to be, because we have so many different fabrics we can choose from. Trace them, cut them out, and now I can peel back that paper. So I have more than enough, but this will give me a chance to mix and match. I'm going to be making 13 of these flowers, so I do need 13 squares. And I'm using that beautiful white background. 8 of these petals are going to make a flower, and we need to put it on a 9.5-inch square of white fabric. Now, if you like to trim down after your applique, you could up this size to about 10 inches. Now, of course, we could iron them and do our marks that way, or we can make a template. So to make that template, we need a piece of paper 9.5 inches. And that way it matches our background. Draw a line from center to center, from corner to corner, so we can find that center mark. From the center point down on each line, I did draw a 1/4 inch mark. Then I'm going to take that same template piece and I'm going to match the point up to that 1/4 inch mark and mark the top. And I'm going to do that all the way around. I don't need to trace over the whole thing. I just want to mark here and a mark there on each of my lines. This is now going to be a template for me. So I'm going to poke a hole at each one of these intersections. I just want to make a hole big enough that I can put a little mark on my fabric underneath. So once all those holes have been made, I'm going to be able to put this template on top of my white fabric. I do want to be seeing that good side, and then I could just mark right between those holes. And I'm going to do all 16 holes. So I have the 8 little marks around the outside and the 8 little marks to the inside. Those are going to be my lineup marks. I'm going to do this right at the iron. I'm going to be able to put 1 petal on the 1 mark coming down to the next, and then the next one, the next, and so on. So I'm going to go all the way around, one going on top of the other. The last one, I'm going to line it up and then just flip up this top one so it tucks underneath. Then I'm going to be able to iron that down. So we have these pretty little blocks, and all of them are just slightly different. I just went around, followed those dots, and fused them on. Once we're done fusing these, we're going to be able to applique them down with the machine. So I'm going to start with a straight stitch, and it won't matter what petal I work on, but I'm going to stitch down one of these sides until I get to this point. So I'm just following that edge. That edge that I did will be the petal that I do. Now that I did the straight stitch, I'm going to flip over to that buttonhole stitch. And I'm going to stitch all the way around. Whenever I turn a corner, I make sure the needle is on the far right of the pattern. So now I have that purple petal stitched down. I'm going to go to the next one. In order to do this petal, I need to get to this point, so I'm going to stitch around it. Change it to the straight stitch. And now I can stitch down. Change my stitch and go all the way back around. That petal's done. I'm going to go to this one. Straight stitch until I get to that point and continue. So this is the petal I started with. I was able to go all the way around, and this is going to be the last petal. So in this case, I'm going to be able to just follow the edge of that stitching. Stitch here, come down, and stop to about here. So I have that last little bit to do. Before I do that, I'm going to place my circle on. I did put the fusible web on that so that I can press that later. But right now, I'm just going to line it up, continue stitching until I hit the edge here of that circle. Once I've hit that edge, I'm going to rotate and stitch around the circle. Once I come to the end, I'm just going to let the machine cut and finish my threads. So I have no thread tails. I didn't have to stop and start. I was able to go all the way around. And the back looks nice too. Now that those little petals are done, we're going to make that second block. For that second block, we're going to need 2-inch squares. And I'm going to take them from my 10-inch blocks. So I'm going to be able to trim off those blocks so it's a true 10-inch. And then just cut them all apart. From each block, I'm going to get 25 little 2-inch squares. And if you're going to use a strip set, you could just cut those strips. I'm going to need a total of 144 2-inch squares. I have that bowl of 144 plus squares. I'm going to need 48 2 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm also going to need 48 2 inches by 6.5 inches. So to make the block, we're going to start with a 4-patch. And then we're going to take 2 of those smaller 3.5 inch pieces and put them on each side. We're going to need 2 pieces that have that 3.5 inch white plus the 2 inches on each side, and they will be sewn there. Take 2 of the long 6.5 inch pieces. They're going to be put there. And the 2 of the 6.5 inch pieces, we put 2 squares on the ends. And they're going to go on that corner. So make 12 blocks, and this will equal 9.5 inches. So both the flower block and those piece blocks are 9.5 inches, and we're going to be able to sew them together in rows of 5. So one row will start with the flower, and the second row will start with the block. So we end up with 3 flowers for one row, 2 flowers for another, and so on. So we're going to have 5 blocks and 5 rows. The simple pieced blocks really do give a chain look through this, and it does make this flower block appear larger, and it looks like it's on an angle. From here we're going to add on two very simple borders. I have this cut at 1.5 inches, and that's going to be the first border that's going to go around. Two of the pieces are going to be cut at 54.5, and that's going to go on two sides. Then the other two are going to be at 47.5. From there, we're going to have a nice crisp white border cut at 4.5 inches. We're going to have 47.5 inches and 55.5 inches. This quilt really has a beautiful, fresh look to it. It is a vintage pattern, but that fresh new fabric really does give it a fun look. Now, whenever I'm doing a pattern that has applique on it, I try to find a pathway. So my start and my end always end up in the same place, even if I have to switch over from a straight stitch to whatever decorative stitch that I want to do. As long as I'm able to switch back and forth, I'll follow a pathway and then go back over it in that decorative stitch. It saves a lot of time and I don't have to trim threads. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I have a newsletter. It's all free under Sew Very Easy. And be sure to make every day a Sewtacular day. Bye for now.